Hey warriors, and welcome to your rut busting yoga flow and creativity session. In these sessions, I'll give you a prompt to help you inspire new ideas. We'll spend about 15 minutes or so on our mats, flowing and stimulating our creative energies. And then we have time set aside for you to take that prompt and that energy and create. These sessions are perfect for when you're feeling stuck in a creative endeavor, a work project, or just in life. Today's prompt is: the music drifted out of the club like a vibrating pulse. I could feel it in my core. The night was full of possibility. So when you're ready, let's hop on the mat and fight for our creativity. Hey warriors, and welcome to your rut busting yoga flow and creativity session. Today's flow, we're going to be completely seated. So we're starting today in a nice comfortable seat. You might notice that I don't have a mat with me today. I just wanted to show that you don't always have to have all the things in order to do the things. A lot of people use different things like that as barriers to why they can't do something. I can't do yoga because I don't have a mat, or I don't have the clothes. I can't write because I don't have the perfect space. But I just wanted to show that it's possible to do certain yoga poses and flows without a mat. Since we are on the floor, if you do want a towel or a blanket or something, depending on your surface, just to make things a little more cushiony and comfortable, you are welcome to grab that. But otherwise, depending on your floor, you should be good to go. So we are going to start in a nice comfortable seat, whatever that looks like to you. I am cross-legged. If you're cross-legged, maybe your ankles are kind of lined up, stacked even with each other. Your hands can kind of fall wherever is comfortable. You can put your legs out in front of you if that's more comfortable for you. Sometimes crisscross applesauce, as they say, is not always comfortable for some people's knees. And then just slowly start to come into the breath. So we want to make sure, even when we're seated, that we're paying attention to our form and our posture. So we're going to stack our head over our heart and our heart over our pelvis, which will create just a nice long line for energy to flow. Maybe imagine a string attached to the top of your head, pulling the top of your head up toward the ceiling. That will help invite some length through the neck and an extension through the spine. Pulling the belly button back toward the spine to engage the core will help kind of straighten and align everything. Again, hands can just settle where they fall. And just start to come into the breath. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Maybe inviting a soft gaze, just looking at the floor in front of you. Letting anything go that doesn't serve you in this moment. Just focusing on the breath and the right now, not even worrying even yet about what you're going to create after this. Just letting the mind focus on the breath. If it starts to wander, that's okay. Just come back to the breath and the body. Just pause here for a moment. And if you want to start moving the body a little bit, you can, from the seat, you can drop the hands to the side, to the floor beside us. Inhale. Lift the left arm, reaching for the sky. And then on the exhale, just reach that left arm to the right side, across the body, keeping the left knee and the left buttock pressed toward the earth for a little counter pose, counterbalance. And then inhale back towards center. And exhale, drop the left hand to the mat. Inhale, reach the right arm up toward the sky. And exhale, reach the right arm toward the left side, keeping the right knee pressed toward the floor to the right. And inhale, reach for the sky. And exhale, drop the hand back to the floor or the mat. And we'll inhale through the body, lifting the head toward the ceiling. And exhale, we're going to start to walk our hands behind us, just resting the fingertips on the mat or the floor. And start to walk them behind, but keeping the head over the heart and the heart over the pelvis. So we're keeping the body straight and where it is, just walking those hands. So that's going to start to open the shoulders and through the chest. Just continuing to breathe. We'll inhale. And then on the exhale, releasing the hands, walking them forward. And then we're going to move out of this cross-legged position. We are going to come into a position that might feel better if you do have a little bit of cushion beneath you. So just keep that in mind. It doesn't mean you can't do it where you are if you don't have that, but we're going to come to our knees. I'm going to face this way. You can face however you are. Just find a nice alignment here before we go to the next step here. So head over heart, heart over pelvis. Hands can be to the top of the thighs. Shoulders are pulled down away from the ears still. So we're just still mindful of our posture and our alignment. And then we're going to actually tuck the toes. So we're going to move the toes so that they're pressing into the earth, and then we're going to be sitting on our heels. Now, just a warning, if you're not used to doing this, it is a little uncomfortable, but it's very, very good for the feet. If you ever notice your feet kind of start aching during a yoga practice, especially if you don't practice often, this is a great way to stretch the feet. So we're just going to pause here. Again, it might be a little uncomfortable, so feel free to kind of come out of it and then come back in. It actually is one that I am realizing I need to do more often. Help stretch through the toes. It's going to help stretch the fascia in the feet, which is connected to literally everything else in the body. So it's a great stretch. Working to maintain our posture, can bring the hands and interlace them behind the body. Maybe lifting, and then on an inhale, just almost back bending just a little bit, pressing into the feet, pulling the wrists up to open through the shoulders and the chest. And then exhale, release everything. Because that does do a number on the feet. We can come back just to rest on the feet for a moment. And then we'll move, just bring the feet out from under us, move back onto the bottom, and the feet and the legs are going to come out wide into a wide-legged seat. Just finding a wide-legged position that works for you, keeping a nice slight bend in the knees, if that feels good. Pressing the heels into the earth. Again, keeping that head over heart, heart over pelvis alignment. This is somewhere, especially if you don't have a strong back, like me. Sometimes I'm guilty of this, of wanting to just slouch here or let the shoulders fall forward. But this is where it's especially helpful to keep that long length and strong spine. So this is actually just a really good place to stay. This will help build some of that strength through the back and the core. If you don't sit like this often, you might already be feeling kind of your legs shaking a little, the body resisting. If it hurts, come out of it. But if it's just that little bit of resistance, That's okay. It's strength building. I actually feel it in my hips a little bit here. You might want a towel or something underneath you. And then if you would like to invite a little more movement into this pose, a little more of a stretch, you can place the hands on the ground in front of you and slowly keeping that length in the spine, leading with the chest and the chin, just walking the hands forward, starting to work our way into a fold. And I will be honest, this is not a pose I am super flexible in, so I am not going to go far. This is frankly about as far as I go comfortably. So even those of us that practice yoga fairly regularly aren't flexible all the time. So I think that's a common misconception that, in this pose, the ultimate goal is to fall flat onto the floor. It's definitely not. So the goal is to listen to your body and just come to your edge and feel good about that. So wherever your edge is, just find that and breathe. You can actually, if you'd like, hold on to the shins. You can hold on to an edge of the blanket or mat or anything like that you might have. Again, leading with the chin and the chest. You might inhale, invite a little more length into the spine, and exhale, fold a little farther. This is a pose that will take time to see any results. So just honor that and honor your body. We'll inhale to come out and bring the legs together. We're actually just going to make our way onto our backs. I'm going to turn so that you can see me, but you can just stay wherever you are. We'll come onto our back and keep those knees bent, feet on the floor for a little reclined pigeon to end our practice. So we'll keep that left foot pressed into the floor or the mat or the blanket. And we're going to lift that right foot up off the floor and bring that right ankle to rest on the top of the left leg, left thigh, and open, almost creating a little triangle between the legs, letting that knee fall open wherever it goes, as far as it goes. And then we're going to lift the left foot up off the mat or the ground and reach through the little window with your right hand to grip and close, interlace the fingers around that left thigh. So we're here. And then as is comfortable for you, we're just going to pull that left leg toward the chest, but obviously it might not come anywhere near that. That's fine. We're going to keep pulling that right knee away from the body and keeping that right foot flexed so it's not pointed like a ballerina, but the toes are pulling up or pointed up toward the ceiling. And just pulling that left leg as far back as is comfortable. If you need a little more, you can use that right elbow to push that right knee away from the body a little more, but only coming to your very edge. If the knee is hurting, the right knee, come out of the pose, let go of that left leg a little bit. Don't force it if that knee is hurting. Knees are not something you want to mess with. So if there's any pain in your knee, coming out. But breathe. Take a couple breaths here. Playing with your edge, playing with what feels right and good in your body. And then we'll drop that left foot to the mat. Unwind, untwist, drop that right foot to the mat and do the same thing on the other side. So lifting that left ankle to the top of the right thigh, lifting the right foot up off the ground, reaching through that little window, interlacing the hands around the right thigh, keeping that left foot flexed. You can keep the right foot flexed too. Letting the knee fall open And pulling that right leg toward the body. And if you notice, you might be completely different on either side. This one is not really moving any farther from this on this side, a little tighter over here. And that's totally fine. You might notice that too. So this is where it's really important to just honor each side. You don't have to do it the same on each side just because you did it on the other. You can use that left elbow to push into that right knee, left knee, sorry. But again, doing whatever feels good in your body while you breathe. I'll go ahead and drop that right knee, right foot back to the earth. Unwind, untwist. And if you want, we're gonna need to make our way up so we can roll. Actually, I'm not gonna do that on this floor. So the surface matters. If you wanna kind of roll your way up to a seated position, you can do that if it feels okay. Come back into a nice comfortable seat. And we're not gonna pause in a resting position here. We're gonna take the energy that we just cultivated. We did nurture our sacral chakras a lot in that flow due to all the hip openers. So you can take that energy to your creative project, to your computer, to your notebook, whatever you are working on at the moment. Don't worry about pausing the video. We'll play some music. We'll remind you of the prompt that we gave, and you can sit and spend some dedicated time working on your craft. So thanks so much for practicing with me today, warriors. If you like this video, give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get more content like this. Now go forth and create. Namaste. Welcome to your creativity session. Don't worry about pausing or turning off the video. We'll play some music to keep your creativity flowing as you work. Challenge yourself to keep going until the video ends. You got this. And if you appreciate these videos, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Today's prompt is: the music drifted out of the club like a vibrating pulse. I could feel it in my core. The night was full of possibility. Time's up, warriors. Great job. I hope this rut-busting flow and creativity session was helpful. Remember, no matter how much or how little you created in this session, you still made the time and showed up. If you want to make these sessions a regular thing, make sure to subscribe and hit the little notification bell to get notified whenever I have a new video. Have a wonderful day, warriors.